This tutorial is going to look at using plain language to organize, format, and think through writing your code. And it's called writing in pseudocode. What you can see here is we have our next example, and everything is commented out. So a couple things to be aware of when you're writing code is how the code actually runs. In the simplest form, like the program we looked at previously in the Hello World sketch, maybe we should open that up just to take a look at it again. We have just one line of code. It's sitting alone by itself, and so when it runs, it begins at the top. It sees some commented text, so it ignores that. It sees this first line of code, so it runs that. It runs that function, which prints hello world into the console, and then it stops there because there's no loops indicated. So that's the simplest form of code. So if you want code to just run once and stop, you would write it with no additional functions. Typically, you want code to cycle. So if we look here, we can see we've got two basic blocks of copy, code blocks. We've got the setup, where we set up some basic parameters of the program. And then we've got a second block of code, which is actually the loop, which this cycles through. So you need to understand that before you can write this in pseudocode. So again, you begin with the setup basic functions like the size of the canvas or the color mode, RGB, HSB, etc. And then you have the draw loop, which is the looping part of the code. And inside of this, you can see we're setting background color, we're setting a fill color to white, we're setting a stroke to black, we're setting a stroke weight to 2 pixels, and we're setting a circle to 100 pixels. We're drawing a circle. And this will continuously loop. So when the code runs, it goes through the basic parameters. Oops. It goes through the basic parameters here, this first block, and sets those, and it only runs through that once. And then after that, it drops into the loop, and it goes line 7, line 8, line 9, line 10, line 11, line 7, line 8, line 9, line 10, line 11, and it loop, 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 loop until you stop it. So this is really just a first stab at sort of organizing what I want to happen. And so you can see I'm setting the size of my screen or my canvas. I'm setting my color mode if I want to work in HSB or RGB. I'm setting a background color. What's the background of the canvas itself? I'm setting a fill color for what I'm going to draw. I'm setting a stroke color for what I'm going to draw. I'm setting a stroke weight, like how thick is the stroke at 2 pixels. And I'm going to draw a circle at 100 pixels. So that's my intent. That's the pseudocode. This is not code. It's all commented out.